Yep. Okay. So let me also spin up Colab. Hmm. Yeah, I lose everything here too. We had one that was ongoing before. I don't know why it's not. Where is class one? Wow. Open. Yeah, it should be you. Okay. And this is where we start. This is where we start last class. We looked at pandas and some functions in pandas that we use for exploratory data analysis. So today we'll be looking at visualization with Matplotlib because you also had a session with Israel on Friday where you also talked about pandas. So today our topic for today we're looking at data visualization with I don't know if we'll be able to. Let me just say Matplotlib. Remember when you are importing, sorry, you guys give me a minute. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we'll import pandas as PD, import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. So before I go there, as boarding data, how do you visualize as a data scientist? And let's see what's our result. Um, Let me change this question. Which framework do you use? So you see the first one that came out is Matplotlib. If you check it again, you see that is a fan favorite. This is Microsoft Power BI. Let's leave that guy. Tableau, Seaborn, Kibana, but you see Matplotlib again. So as budding data scientists, we have to be able to visualize your data. We have seen that in that text can only get you so far. What tends to stick with people is visuals. When you see something, seeing is believing. Sometimes when you hear something, it can come out and go, but when you see something, oh, I passed this road, I saw a bank. Okay, this bank is here again, that means I'm close. So visualizations help you to tell your story. You use visualizations to tell the story about the data sets you're working with. So that is why visualizations are so important. So let me look for data sets that I can use. So we can still do the basics with this. Should still be able to do it. Okay. I'm going to this data set will still be in the group chat. So I want us to download this data set and let's use it again. Or if you still have the collab you opened back then, just run it from the beginning again because it have disconnected. Yeah, you have to mount it back in your file. Let me see if it's still. See that file. CMBD, where are you? Where are you? Okay, for some reason I can't find it. Let me go and get it too from the group chats. I'm also tagging it on the group chats. I think I remember what was wrong with me. Is it not there? Is in documents? Is it? Desktop. I have that in somewhere else. Yes, found that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm importing the data. Alright, it has imported for me. So now if I run this again, see that it was successful. That was run successfully. Already imported pandas as PD. So another that's just to fulfill righteousness. Still the same thing. Still get all these values. So going down to the business of today, data visualization with Matplotlib. So I've imported pandas as PD. So if I call data.add, right. Remember I've imported matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. Because you're using Google Colab, this is already downloaded in Google Colab environments. If you're working in somewhere else, maybe if you're trying to download from your terminal using pip, or maybe you're working in another environment, you might have to install it. And if you want to install it, you just use pip install matplotlib and you have it. So back to this phase. I want you guys to know how to read the docs. How to get hands-on, going through docs and able to do something yourself. That is the goal of this tutorial. We are teaching you even after this bootcamp so that you don't need to be hands held. Be able to do things by yourself too. Um, let's start with this. Okay, yeah, let me start with this. So this is going to make a simple plot now. You see that you saw what I'm doing. I came directly to the documentation. So Matplotlib documentation. That is what I'm copying here. I've already imported this, so I don't need, I can comment this out. So let's see what happens. So now you see that that exact same thing happens. The same thing you're seeing in the docs. It's the same thing that I've plotted. So now just to quickly explain, we are saying plt.plot, and we gave you this list of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and we said plt. Remember, we have imported matplotlib.pyplot as plt, so that's what we're using. plt.plot. This is a function of matplotlib plot. Sorry, yes, dot plot is a function. Dot y label, we have dot figures, we have dot show. We'll look at all of them in due time. So now when you plot, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Plot these numbers and label it as some numbers on the y-axis. That's why here you can see some numbers. So as a result of this line here, plt dot y label some numbers. That's why I see some numbers here. And it plots these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's look at another. This is just, you are giving it data, but in the x-axis. But before I go on, plt.plot. Remember, it's a function. We did function, so yeah. So now you can see the arguments of this function. We have bool, which is by default true. We have scaly, which is bool, which is also true. We have data, which will be any data you pass on to it. Then you have keyword arguments, and you can have as many arguments as possible. So here now, this is what came in for data. So you can see it's just that it wasn't specified. It was a positional argument. All right. So if I just do plt.plot now, what happens? You see that you get nothing. So you see that it just returns a visualization with nothing. You can't see anything here on a scale of minus 0.04 to 0.04 on both y and x axis, right? But now if we change this, let's put some data inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me put this in reverse order. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What happens? Now you see that it plots this. 1 will be plotted at 6. 1 is plotted at 6. 2 is plotted at 5. 3 is plotted at 4. So x and y. Just like when you have, we are all undergraduates, so I've done basic maths. When you are plotting a point on a graph, when you have 2, 3, so at point 2 and 3 plot it. So that is the exact same thing that is going on here. That is what's going on here. We are plotting this data, and this is what we have. So let's add a layer. So now I've plotted this. What else do you think I can do? I can do the y label. So I can do plt dot y label and call it y-axis. Then plt dot x label and call it x-axis. Then I can have plt dot show. So you see now that it puts it on the y-axis and on the x-axis, still plotting the same thing because the data that we gave it. So now let's make this a bit more random. Let's make this look like a curve. So if one is, let me just put random numbers. Let me say 3, 16, 15, 12, 5, let's say 10. Let me leave it within the range of 1 to 20. Let's see 7. So if I plot this now, you see that it's no longer a straight line. It's plotting it following that same first principle. At x of 1, y is 3. So 1, 3. 3 will be around here. At 2, we have 15. So that's why you see this jump. 2 is 15. At 3, we have 12. So you see 3, see 12. At 4, we have 5. Is 5. At 5, you have the corresponding value. At 6, you have the corresponding value. So that is how it works. This is plain and returning data. So now let's go, let's see where they will plot with data. Can leave all of this. Here is interesting. Yes, one ball. All right. So now in these docs, you can see what they are saying here. Plotting with categorical variables. We're working with. Did we did we do types of data? Categorical and numerical data. Did we? Can you guys hear me? Okay. So basically, there are two broad divisions of data. We have categorical data and we have numerical data. Now, categorical data is data that is in categories, and numerical data, like the name implies, is quantitative data. One, two, three, four, five. That is numerical data. And under these two subdivisions, we have numerical and categorical. They can also be subdivided. So in categorical data, it can be further divided into nominal and ordinal. I'm sharing my screen right. Let me type it. Categorical data and further subdivided into ordinal and nominal. I mean, so that this will not give me issue. While we have numerical data, which can further be divided into discrete and continuous. Okay, so what is ordinal data? Ordinal data is categories that have order. So example of ordinal data is like employees in an organization. So you have managers, you have general managers, you have MD. There's that hierarchical structure. That's why it follows an order. But nominal is data that does not particularly have an order. So you have something like age. Age is not numerical, it's categorical because you categorize people based on their ages, but they don't exactly follow a particular order. So it's nominal. So categories that don't, let's say fruits you buy in the market, that is an example of nominal data. They don't have a specific order attributed to them. That is for categorical. Now, in numerical data, we have discrete and continuous. Now, discrete data is data that exists within a finite space. It exists within a range of values. So we can have maybe 1 to 20. That is discrete data. But continuous data is data, quantitative data that has an infinite number of possibilities. So it can span from 1 to infinity. So that is the difference between discrete and continuous. Discrete is finite, while continuous is infinite. So that is the difference between the two. So what was I plotting here now? What kind of data was I plotting here? This data that I was plotting with Matplotlib. What kind of data is this? Discrete. Yeah, discrete, yeah, correct. So now we have looked at discrete data. Let's try and plot categorical data. So just for the fun of it, let's see what happens. So just to refresh our memory, what is data? No, I should have done data.edu. Forgive me. So data is our TMDB database, right? This is it. So now when I pass all these values, when I say plot all of this, you are confusing Matplotlib. That's why you're getting this error. be able to convert values to axis unit, because in this data now, you have categorical and numerical data. And how do I confirm that? Remember data.info. So you see, this is categorical, ID, original title, all these ones that have objects beside them. Yeah, categorical data types. For those that have integer or floats are numerical. They are numerical data types. So let's compare two values. Let's look at original title and revenue. Okay. Let's do plt dot plots x equals to, what do I want to be varying? But that won't be too much. But let's see, let's give it a shot. Data original title, then y equals to data, then revenue. ELT dots x label original title. This will most likely give me an error. I might have to look for a smaller database. Plt dots y label revenue. Let me remove this from here. And plt dot show. Yep. Don't want text and y. Positional argument for those. How do you now want me to do it? Okay. Let me use chaining. We haven't talked about positional and keyword arguments. Like I'll rename my data name, my data set, so that it won't conflict. Let me just put it like that. This will take a long while because you have it's will run after you have over 10,800 data points that you're trying to plot. Yeah, telling Matplotlib to plot now. So that's why it's taking this long to spin up. So I should have actually started from something minute, small, and increase like that. Should I wait for this guy? I should terminate it. Let's wait a bit. And let's look at the examples that are here in the meantime, because of time. Are you guys trying to write this thing as I'm writing it? Hmm? Are you guys trying to code along with me? Yeah. Please, if I'm too fast or there's nothing I don't get, please let me know so that I'll go back to it. This guy will take a while. I might just terminate it. So, peradventure there's anything that is too fast for you or you don't exactly get, please let me know and I'll go back to it. So let's look at plotting with categorical. Okay. Still loading. Let's look at plotting with categorical variables. It's possible to create plots using categorical variables. Matplotlib allows you to pass categorical variables directly to many plotting functions. Okay, so you see here, they define a variable names, which is a list. Have you run? So you see that it's too much. That's why you have this jagged. So what I can do is that I can subset this list based on, see that the names are too much. So I'll do something else. Let me plot just one. Even this original title self. Data dot revenue. Let me just plot the revenue data. I can see that this is even to, so this is 2.5 times 1 raised to power 9 times 1 times 10 raised to power 9. And these are various values. Or if you check the data revenue column, just call the revenue. You see the revenue of different movies. If I want to subset, I call original title and revenue. Let me say dot add revenue dot them. So you see the title and the revenue. So that's what I was trying to plot. Okay, let me undo this. Let me do this instead. So dummy. I'm saving this as a variable. That's what I did. I saved this as a variable. So if I call dummy, it will return the values. Right. So now let me change this to dummy. Since you're only plotting 10. I've not done numpy, right? We haven't.
Yes.
Allow me to do it one by one. No problem. I would have done something, but I don't want to jump since we've not done numpy. Let me see, dummy 2 equals to data. If I call dummy and dummy 2 now, so you have them. You have Jurassic World, same way it was before, and you have their respective revenue generated from those movies. So now let me see if this works. I'm trying to bypass using numpy and dummy 2. Let me see. Alright, it worked. So now you can see, but this is not so clear yet. So there's a function in matplotlib which allows you to tilt your um it allows you to tilt your displays. I know it do, but I want you guys to, yeah, working with text. I want you guys to learn how to do it, to learn how to research. Annotating text. No. It's not here. How do I This is the kind of workflow I want you to build to be able to carry out research by yourself. How do I edit labels in Matplotlib? No, 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 there's no way I want to go. I want to go to the Matplotlib official documentation. Is it text, labels, and annotation? So, embedding text. Yeah. So this is it. You will see something called S ticks and Y ticks. So it's telling you. So you can see these dates here. Sales are plenty. 2004, 7, 2005, January, July 2005. It's sort of messy and clumped up together. See that they changed it here. July 2005, July 2006. This is easier to read and more visually appealing. Then here you see that they merge them together and they just you can tick that this is this. You can tick that this is this. You can deduce that this is this. You can deduce that this is this. You can deduce that this is this. Well, I want to show you on the. This is too much. Ethics levels. I'm looking for the very, very basic one. I don't want to show you something as complex as this yet. Hmm, give me a sec. Alright, so sometimes what I'm looking for is on the docs, but I can't remember what it is exactly on the docs. How do I edit 6? Why are you not showing me rejects? I'm coming. Absolutely, it's not this deep. Alright, let's leave that guy for now. I don't know why I can't find it. But basically, I'm going to tilt these guys. Mm, ALT. Let me see. It's been a while I've used it. Xsticks. I think I'll change if I use one. So I'll say I have to use NumPy and I'm trying to escape NumPy. Okay. I hope it's carrying. It's not even. Let me just pick the top three. I think this is better. So now you can see the top three movies and the revenue generated. So you see that Jurassic World generated like it is 1.2, 1.4. This will be 1.6. So it generated like 1.4 to 1.5 million dollars. Is that in billions or is comma? Yeah, generated $1 billion plus. Mad Max Fury Road generated around $400 million. Insurgents generated around $300 million. Now, I've been able to perform a visualization to tell me, or it has given me a pictorial view of the first three movies in my data sets and the revenue generated. Now, movies is categorical, or the original title is a categorical data set, but revenue is numerical. So, what I was trying to the objective of this was to show you that you can plot categorical and numerical data sets with Matplotlib, or data types, pardon me, with Matplotlib. So has anyone been able to do this? Let me go back to. Has anyone been able to do that? You guys said you are following along. If you are stuck, let me know. Let's next 10 minutes. Let's run over it together. Guys, I've been using the charts. 12:29. Can you guys see me? Okay, so Adam said we were able to do it. Wait, Bola, were you able to do it? I know I was moving really fast. That's why I'm asking. But I mean, they were able to do it. Were you able to make that plot? Or do you need help? Let me know, please. What, were you able to do it? Or do you need help? Wait, Bola, were you able to do it or do you need help?
No, sir. We don't have light currently,
Okay.
so my laptop is down. So I've not been. I'm
Alright.
just following along. Like,
Alright, no problem. No problem. That is fine. Thank you for your feedback. They were able to do it. Wait, Bola, were you able to do it? If you need me to go over it again, I will. If you're encountering an error trying to run, let me know. Let's resolve it together. All right, so let's look at, see, generals are objects and budget is float. So let's look at budgets allocated to some generals. So I would just run general subsets. Let us call data general, is it capital G? No. Data generals dot edge, and then just look at for then revenue as okay, budgets EGG budgets assigned data budgets budget. Let me comment these guys out. Alright, so if I run this now, then let's say under is I call display generals subsets, and also display budgets subset. So you see the budgets for the first general, the first one, action, adventure, science fiction, thriller. These are the classifications they gave that first movie. And our first movie was what? Jurassic World or Park, I can't remember. And this is the other one. The other one that was Max Fury Road is action, adventure, science fiction, and thriller too. The next one is Insurgent. Insurgent is adventure, science fiction, and thriller. I didn't check the fourth one because I ran four before, but we get the idea. So now let's plot these two. So when you're working, we imported it as PLT. PLT dot plots pass the variables. X is what? What I'm plotting the x-axis is generals, and what we want to see on the y-axis. Sorry, what did I call my generals subsets? And what did I call my budgets? Budgets at John subset, if I'm correct. Such a long name. Yep. So now, so some things you do. I've looked at plt.plots. You've looked at x label. X label will be what? The generals. Generals of the movie. The plt dot the y label will be budgets for the movie. Then the title will be, what title should we give it? Visual analysis of budgets allocated to different movies based on my, shall I zoom too much? Based on their genre. Then you can have plt dot show. Alright, so let's run this and let's see what we get. So over here, you see that Jurassic World, which was the first one, had also that it's just flow with what we had before. Let me also put this as 3. Let me look at just the top 3. Yep. So let me run this again. Alright. So now over here, remember the first one was Jurassic World. There's no space here. That is why the label, the tick marks, the tick label didn't show. So these are the 3 of them again. You can see the budgets for the movie. You can see that title I put. You see it at the top. Visual analysis of budget allocated. You see it at the top. X label, you see it here. Genres of the movie. Y label, you see the budget of the movie. And you now see the values or the money assigned to each of those movies. So you see Jurassic World was, the budget was around 1.3 billion. They made a revenue of 1.5. So guess they made their money back and more. Then you see for the other one, which was something Park of Fury or something, budget for it was around 1.2 billion. 1.2 times 10 per 8. Wait, two. It's not billion or million. This is not billions. This is not 9, it's 8. So 1.35. Wait a sec. 1.35. Um, Let me see if Google understand times 10 raised to power. I have raised to power here. Yep, raised to power 8. So we see that this is actually $135 million. Yeah, it's not billion. Where was I? So sorry for that. So for Jurassic World now, they had a budget of $135 million. I don't know, was it dollars or euros? I don't know. I'll find out as we can find out that later. They had a budget of 135 million euros and they made a revenue of 1.5 billion um dollars. For the second one, what is your name? Mad Max Fury Road. They made a revenue of $400 million and they had a budget of 120 and 120 million. They made 400 million. And the last one, which is Insurgents, they made like 250. They made like 250 million and they had a budget of, or they used like 100 million to produce the movie. So these are just giving you an insight on what is you can do. This now gives you like a visual outlook that helps you to perform analysis or just become one with your data to try and understand the data you're working with. That is why we do visualization. So this was just to intimate you with matplotlib. In the next class, I think you will go a bit deeper, look at some more functions in matplotlib. Then after that, we'll look at NumPy. Then by God's grace, we'll go into machine learning fundamentals. All right, does anyone have any question?
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead.
With the first part that we did, all the names were joined together. Is there a way for us to separate them or that's how they just
Yeah, there's a way, but most of the time when you have so many um instances of your data, you are trying to fit, imagine trying to fit 1,000 data points on your x-axis on this place. You see, this is just 3. This is just 3. There's a way to, the best way to do is to subset it. And that is what I was doing here. I reduced it. So now generals, if you check data generals dot value count, or let me just learn. Let me run. Is it not generals again? Oh, I didn't put it in quotation marks. So you have 10,866 and you want to plot 10,866 here, you have an issue. It is not, you won't see everything. You have to subset it. But is you can do analysis, statistical analysis on your data to try and identify outliers and all of that. But that is majorly done on numerical data. So what am I saying? You can try and if I do data, sorry, that's another cell. Yeah, now if I do data dots, let me find the revenue column. Revenue dot describe. Remember the describe method that we looked when we. So now you see that for the revenue, there are 10,866 data points. The mean value in revenue. So on an average, all the movies costs. This will be this times 10 to the power 7. So on an average, if this is 3, the movies cost on an average cost $39 million to do a movie on an average. And the standard deviation, this gives you an idea of the statistical measures of central tendency regarding your column. And there's a way to plot it, but we don't have time. So when you plot it, you can see your outliers. When you use, there are different kind of plots, which I should have actually showed first. There's the bar plots, there's a count plot, there's a regression plot, there's reg plots, there's count plots, there's bar plots, there's horizontal bar charts, there's vertical bar charts. So I've actually showed that now I'm thinking about it. So that will show you to give you an idea of your outliers, your best performing metrics, your median measure of a particular column. Olamide, does that help?
Yes, thank you.
All right. So I'll see you guys in the next class. Bye for now.